Hello, this is Dread, and in today's video topic, we're going to be going over my support build for multiplayer, for, of course, Last Epoch multiplayer. If you don't know, I was invited to join EHG and a few other friends to play on the Last Epoch servers, on the community tester servers that they have set up, and we're going to be able to stream it, make videos, showcase everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. First thing off, I want to thank you guys all for all of the support and all of the effort you guys have been putting in. We're almost at 10K subs, and we also hit 2K followers on Twitch the other day, which means that essentially I wouldn't be here without you guys, and it's got me really excited because I've been putting a lot of effort into Last Epoch, if you hadn't noticed, in the past few years, and this is kind of my dream. I know it's a little pathetic, but it's been my dream of late to be able to do this and do stuff with EHG because they've been making the game I love. So we're going to talk about the build that we're going to be playing. So let's go into the planner, shall we? All right, here we are in game with the planner. So this isn't going to be one-to-one with what's on the servers because there's going to be a lot of changes, but this is just a mock-up of the idea that I had that we're going to be playing. So the idea is Perry, a friend of mine, we're going to be streaming at 3 p.m. on the 27th together on Twitch, links down below. We're going to be playing as a duo, right? He is going to be playing a Reign of Winter marksman, right? I asked him specifically to do so because it's going to be one of the best builds to pair with the build I'm going to play, Support Werebear. Now, Support Werebear gets a lot of things, like a lot of things, like Werebear specifically, right? Obviously, I don't know exactly how it's going to work on the server, but this is just going to be like kind of like a broad stroke of what I'm going to be doing. So the first buff that we get to give to our ally, Perry, right, is Spriggan. Spriggan Companion. Normally summon Spriggan is really bad because it keeps dying and it sucks. But thankfully, since we don't have to do the damage, right, it means that we can buff our summon Spriggan to the point where it won't be dying constantly. And we also get to benefit from this significantly. Like, for instance, we're going to get a lot of healing from the Summon Spriggan, the AoE. We get a lot of attunement scaling. So all of that attunement is going to go towards the minion's life. It's going to go towards the minion's healing, which is going to be great for our friend because we can keep him alive. Of course, even more healing. And of course, we're going to get dodge rating per attunement. It's like 4. My head's in the way. And that's going to scale my dodge and also my allies' dodge as well and give them a little bit of a layer of defense. Then, of course, we get to the juicy stuff. 15 adaptive flat damage. Now, one of the biggest problems that Reign of Winter has is getting flat damage. That's why you run Morning Frost for the flat damage. But with this setup, I'm going to give my, my carry, my Reign of Winter carry, even more damage. So this is going to be great using this adaptive spell damage, right? And of course, we're going to give our ally 8% base crit and a bunch of crit avoid for free. This is going to open up affixes on their gear, meaning that they can go full damage, which is great. Then the next piece of support is going to be Warcry. Warcry has a lot of fun stuff attached to it. First things off, we get to pull enemies into us so that we can pull them away from our carry and we can group them up because Reign of Winter works really well with, like, of course, multi-shot when everything's grouped together and you can shotgun everything because the Reign of Winter projectiles will go through and pierce through everything. So pulling them together, all the enemies together, is going to be great. And of course, we're going to taunt them as well so that they only attack us and not our carry. We're going to be tanky. Our carry is going to be a paper-thin machete that just like is just going to shoot projectiles, right? And of course, as well, we get a bunch of free healing, and we can apply this healing to allies thanks to Invigorate. Now, I don't have a point in here. Now I have a point in Frostclaw, and that's because this +4 on Call of the Tundra is not working. I will make sure to get a +4 eventually. That is the plan, so that we can fill this out. And this will give a lot of extra healing. And of course, we're getting a lot of healing effectiveness on our gear and stuff like that. So we're going to be able to heal our allies for like probably 2k health every single time I Warcry. So essentially, they're going to be immortal, and it's going to be great. And of course, we're going to give them 100% extra crit, right? Which is cool. And of course, we're going to give them a bunch of extra cold damage, which is great because that's just even more damage for the Reign of Winter build, right? Now, of course, the last buff, the biggest one, is going to be, of course, Entangling Roots. So Entangling Roots, not only is it going to root enemies in place, so melee enemies cannot hit our carry, we're also going to apply five stacks of Shred, which is great, right? We're also going to heal allies as well. It's like a little heal. And then, of course, we're going to add 40 flat spell damage to our allies, which is great. This is a lot of flat. This is essentially like equivalent to 40 dexterity on like a Morning Frost setup. This is an absolute crud ton of flat damage, which is great. We're also, of course, going to be able to apply even if though they're dodge, and they're also going to have an immobilized duration. So like, they're immobilized for a while, which is great. So we're going to be able to go into a pack, Warcry to pull them in, Root Wave to nail them down, and give our ally all of the buffs, all of the healing, all of the dodge, all of the damage, while also not dying, right? Which is, of course, the best thing about this, because we're going to have stuff like Enrage to get health gains per enemy up to 500. We're going to have the heal, we're going to have the dodge, and we can talk about the gearing now, because this is where it gets even crazier. So we're attunement stacking. That's the whole plan, right? We want to attunement stack to get our Summoned Spriggan Companion to be as tanky as possible, and it also scales their healing as well, which is good because it means that it's a constant heal on all of our party members, including me. Now, some of the things that we get to talk about here, we get Impervious, which is like about a little bit of like, I think it's like 20% less damage taken, which is great. We're also going to have full aspect of the boar, which is going to be 30% times 12%, which is going to be fun. That's like about 40% less damage taken just from aspect of the boar. Then, of course, Impervious. We're also going to have all this extra health thanks to Hide Skin. And then of course we're going to have Berserker eventually as well for even less damage taken on low life, which is going to be great. We're going to be a very tanky boy, and we're going to have a lot of sustain too because of all of our healing. Now for gearing, I'm running a Smoke Weaver. Why am I running a Smoke Weaver? Well, we're going to be scaling dodge to the absolute moon thanks to our Spriggan Companion, and we're going to grab, of course, Swiftness of Logi for our blessing so that we get even more dodge, and that makes Smoke Weaver one of our best in slots. Since we have all this DR, it makes it so that the increased damage taken from dual wielding, it makes it so that, of course, it's not as bad, and it means we get to add a gigantic layer of defense and get like maybe like 70% dodge for free, and that's going to make us a very chunky boy, which is great. And of course, thanks to the dual wielding nodes, we can run a Hakar's Phoenix. The main reason we're running a Hakar's Phoenix is in the event that our Spriggan Companion dies, we can revive it. And hopefully this doesn't happen that often. And if we get to the point where our Spriggan Companion does not die every single time it gets hit, we can run a shield instead, like a Bastion, and become a very chunky boy. Of course, we're running Call of the Tundra. This is a very bad helmet in normal last Epoch, but thankfully, thanks to all the stuff, we need the +4 to Warcry to get all the buffs. So Call of the Tundra actually becomes a really good helmet because we don't care about us, we care about our allies. So we care about things that buff our allies. So we want stuff like +2 Warcry levels because Warcry has a lot of juicy stuff. Of course, more attunement stacking, our Ribbons of Blood, so our Spriggan Companion can't be crit, and of course, the Netera's Path to give us even more healing effectiveness, some more stuff like that. We also get the Vines so that we can sustain our rage. We'll summon Vines off of Spriggan form as well, and just all of this combined, right, is going to lead us to heal our allies, make our allies do more damage, face tank things for our allies, and taunt things for our allies. All of this combined is going to lead to a very good support build. I give you damage, I give you life, I give you sustain, I give you absolutely everything. And it's going to be an amazing setup as long as everything goes right. And also as well, we have plans to include Jay into the party as well. Jay is going to be a Lightning Blast sorcerer, so he doesn't get everything. He doesn't get the increased spell damage, increased cold damage from Frostclaw, but he gets the 100% crit for his Lightning Blast. He gets the, of course, where is it? He gets the, the 8% base crit from Summon Spriggan, right? the 8% base crit here. He gets the crit avoid. This means he doesn't have to run a catalyst. He can run a staff, which is insane. He can run flat here. He gets a bunch of flat for free here, right? And then, of course, on Root Wave as well, he gets another 40 flat. So all of that combined is going to make him a very, very, very disgusting bosser, which is going to be absolutely amazing. So I look forward to playing on, of course, the server. If you don't know, as well, after this event in about February and stuff, I'll have like the dates on the screen. We're going to have a crash the server party and an open beta test. What does that mean? Well, you're going to be able to download Last Epoch even if you don't own it and play on the server for a limited time, right? So that you can try out the game. It's going to be like a trial game on the server. It's going to be great. So those 2 dates will be on the screen. See you guys on the 27th. I'm going to go work on stuff. Have a wonderful rest of the day, wherever you're at. Bye, guys.